Every so often, takes would be spoilt by somebody leaning out of a window going, "Marry me, Timmy!" And you sort of go, oh, gosh, what a thing to live with.
You've got some incredible, iconic British comics in this. Most of them probably your friends as well as your colleagues. I was just wondering, when Timothy came on set, did he recognise any of them? Is he like a secret Peep Show fan?
Interesting question. Well, of course, he recognised me from Horrible Histories straight away.
What young
You're
American
stupid
man.
death. No, he didn't know who I was. He thought I was the cleaner.
Yeah, I'm not sure how versed in early noughties British sketch comedy he
Christmas
is.
is coming. We're getting a Mighty Boosh box set. I'm sure we can just figure that out.
I just heard Keegan talking about the Boosh.
Oh, really?
Keegan is a scholar.
He knows every comedy show ever made.
Not a bad comedian himself as well. He's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
He's pretty funny. Speaking of Horrible Histories, there's actually some fantastic songs in Wonka, but are any of them as catchy as Dick Turpin's Highwayman song?
Well, you tell me. I mean, he doesn't even know.
No idea.
He doesn't even know. No, there's some great.
Is that something you sang?
I was in that song. It was Matt Bainton, actually.
Matt Bainton, well, he's very good.
He's obviously in the
And
movie as well.
Matt is a great singer and a dancer. I wasn't too involved in the sort of more challenging songs in Horrible Histories.
You hate to bandy terms like tone deaf around it. It's so cruel.
Well, what was it like hearing Timothy sing for the first time? Obviously must have been a bit of a moment for you.
To hear him sort of take on our songs was a real goosebump moment, because I'd heard Neil sing them, who's got a beautiful voice and is a great singer, but he's obviously... And I was actually nervous because I was worried that I would have so fallen in love with Neil's demos that it would be hard to hear anyone sing them. But he's done such a great job writing them for a younger voice and a different character and a different voice that when Timmy started to sing, it just sounded right.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible. A really, really lovely tone and everything. I was like, what can't he do? Can't this man do?
I haven't yet found it, but it's out there.
We'll work it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure
He
it out.
can't play soccer.
He can or can't?
He can't.
Fantastic.
I wouldn't
we figured
like
it
him
out.
to do an
I've
organ
just made that
transplant.
up. Yeah. Some surgery, some brain surgery.
Yeah.
Going from Timothy to one of his co-stars, Hugh Grant. I'd love to know how you got Hugh Grant into the movie. Did you have to convince him to be an Oompa Loompa, or was it pretty much, I'm in?
Well, he thankfully he likes us from Paddington 2.
We think.
And it's hard to tell but Paul had the idea very early on to have one Oompa Loompa and B to have him played by Hugh Grant. And was there much persuading? Were you involved in that?
I
Was that
wrote him a
David?
very brief email that sort of said, I've been thinking about Oompa Loompas and they're reading their stuff and they're sarcastic and judgmental and very funny.
We thought of you.
And we thought of you. And would you like to do it? And he more or less wrote back saying, okay, very quickly. So it was pleasingly straightforward.
An absolute dream for a director, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
How long does it take to film his part in the movie?
Well, he was on set when we did the scenes, which was very important because he's a great improviser and Timothy likes to improvise and they really needed to be able to play off each other and kind of find the sort of rhythm of the scene. But then he would sort of come back and as we would hone the scenes. And one of the great things with an animated character is you can explore different avenues and see things that don't work and change it. I think we learned a lot as we went forward. So we did revisit his scenes and it's a surprisingly long process to take Hugh Grant at 6 feet and turn him into Hugh Grant at 18 inches high and get it all working. But the animators did an incredible job.
They did, yeah. It was fantastic. His performance is great. An absolute highlight for sure. Obviously, Willy Wonka as a character is very well known in the books especially. What was it about Timothy's performance when he came on set that helped inform that character?
I mean, what's great about Timothy, he has a sort of an innocence, or can convey an innocence, and sort of wide-eyed, sort of bushy-tailed, and very energetic. Really, we wanted to take the sort of the Gene Wilder sort of at the end of the film in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and that guy who gives the Chocolate Factory over to Charlie, and then and that's really for us. It wasn't so much the sort of cynical things around Willy Wonka that we really wanted to latch onto for this movie. It was that act of generosity, and we go, can we track that guy back to being a sort of 25-year-old and coming to town with his bag of sweets, and Timmy just seemed to, in both our heads, be that Willy Wonka that we needed.
I love that you can call him Timmy now. Best friends.
Yeah.
You've started calling Robert De Niro Bobby as
Bobby.
well, haven't you?
I mean, that's
that.
very nice.
And you call Daniel Day-Lewis Dan the Man.
No, he prefers Danny
Boy.
Boy.
You shot on location a lot as well. How easy is it to hide one of the most famous men in the world when you're shooting something like this, especially when he's wearing a huge purple jacket?
It's not very easy, and every so often
Well.
takes would be spoilt by somebody leaning out of a window going, "Marry me, Timmy," and you sort of go, oh, "Gosh, what a thing to live with all day, every day." But he's very patient, and maybe it's nice to have people shouting, "Marry you." I wouldn't know.
No one's
did
ever
that.
shouted it to me.
No,
or
or
even
even
said it to
no.
me in a small voice. There were a few photographs got sort of out. I don't know, Bristol or wherever it was.
It's not something we ever had on Paddington.
I mean, they were trying to get in my dressing room, the paparazzi, and take photos of the security guards. Everyone, that's a very valuable photograph.
Yeah.
But I never let
And
anyone
yet-
know. And yet it never came out.
Well, you're in the movie as well, obviously. You've got
Yes.
a tiny
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to know, how do you
What happens
choose...
when you write it?
Yeah, how do you choose what part you get? Because, I mean, obviously you can't choose Willy Wonka, can you? Or did you try?
Well, I did try.
Yeah.
Paul.
You
Paul-
auditioned, didn't you?
Yeah.
Again and again.
But I was too old and the wrong voice, and only my hair was the only thing on my side. No, it's basically, there's usually a security guard. I honestly don't, people ask, I honestly don't set out to put me in it, because we just write the story, and where the story goes, where the story goes.
Yeah.
But inevitably, there's some kind of break-in, or
We have very
You need to get-
limited range
Yeah.
of set pieces.
we go, what would be good here is they have to get somewhere they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that someone will have to go, oi, up, and stand in the way.
It's like you're
And-
performing just then.
And it may
Very
as well
good.
be, and then we go, it's Barry, isn't it?
it's-
You know,
yeah.
yeah, it's that guy.
Fantastic.
And so that's how he ends up in the movie. It's not
And you're gratis as well. Because you
Yeah,
had
and
the
I'm
writing
extremely
fee,
cheap.
So it's good.
Fair play.
that's one you can cross off that, the budget.
Yeah.
Just go, oh, great, we don't have to think about that.